Welcome to a very special holiday edition of Foodies, the show that explores great food and exposes the secret recipes of New England's best chefs. Now, I know what you're thinking. The holiday season is here, Dominic. And I've got a bunch of parties to go to, I've got family and friends coming to my home, but I don't know what to make. You have to help me out. Just relax, don't worry about a thing. Because by the end of this episode, Foodies is going to turn you into a holiday hero. Don't look now, but the holidays are here, and I can feel the tension and the stress coming through the TV screen. You want to make something unique and different, you want to make something creative, but you just need a little head start, right? Well, fortunately for you, Foodies has got it. Because in our kitchen today, we have a pastry rock star. Alina Eisenhower is the chef owner of Sweet on Shrewsbury Street in Worcester. Alina sits on the judges panel for the Worcester's Best Chef competition, and she was featured in the premiere episode of Food Network's Chopped. She's a regular on How To Heroes, and she's joining us today to tell you a little bit about some great things we're doing for the holidays. Alina, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So listen, I didn't tell them yet, but you just got back from Los Angeles, and you're doing something pretty exciting there. Can you tell us about it?
If I tell you, I have to kill you.
It's all right.
I can tell you a little bit.
I have
it
9
was
lives.
for Food Network, and the rest soon we'll be able to tell everybody.
That's great.
Yep.
I understand we don't know what show it is, but it's something very popular and exciting.
It's a very popular show.
Terrific.
Yep.
Can't wait to see it. When might we know? When might we see it?
Within the next month or so.
Terrific.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about Sweet.
Well, Sweet is a pastry shop and dessert bar. When you first drive by outside, some people may think it looks just like a little pastry shop. But once you pass the front case, which is full usually of cupcakes, and pass through the velvet curtains, you enter in a whole nother world, which is the dessert bar, where we have a full bar, lots of martinis, beer, wine, and then plated desserts, which my style is really to take familiar comfort food, things that people know and love, and upscale them, put a twist on it, make them a little more modern, which is kind of what we're going to do today.
That sounds exciting. Sounds just like what people want to bring to a holiday party. And by the way, you also do savory food at Sweet, too.
We do. We do appetizers.
Great.
Small plates.
Terrific.
Yep.
So what are we going to do today? You know the concept of Foodies, to make everybody at home look like a culinary rock star when they show up at the holiday party. What are we going to do?
Today we're going to take one of those traditional American desserts, something people associate with the holidays, apple pie, one of my favorite things. But to just put a piece of pie on a plate is really, my grandmother did that.
Yeah, I know.
It's old school, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not,
it tastes great,
it's not very elegant. If you go to an upscale dinner party or you're having entertaining at your house and you want to impress people and have something a little bit more formal and elegant. So what we're going to do today is going to cut the time of making a pie in half, which is great.
That's great.
Take a lot of steps out that scare people.
Yeah.
Look beautiful and really make everybody look like a rock star and impress their friends and family. So I need you to start rolling out this pie crust.
I got it, no problem. But as I'm rolling this...
Okay, so don't push quite so hard.
Okay, see, I'm a foodie, I'm not a chef, so this is where you come in.
I'm going to give you a little more flour here.
I'm your sous chef. You're going to slap me around a little bit, tell me what to do.
You're going to put a little more flour under
Terrific.
it. You want to apply even pressure all the way across.
Okay.
Because you want to try and get it, it's not like a regular pie where we're putting it in a plate, so you don't have to have it perfectly round. It can be a little messy.
Good, because it's not.
Even you can handle it.
Thanks.
But you do want to try and make it a little bit even and make sure you're not sticking. So one of the tricks with pie crust is that you always want to add just enough flour to keep it from sticking, but not too much, it'll get tough.
Terrific,
All right, I'm just going to give it one more quick little roll.
All right.
Get this done.
Yeah, that's just you being diplomatic. I understand. What is
It was pretty quick.
The martini glasses.
Well, the great thing about this recipe is that it really doesn't have to be perfect, so you don't need to be afraid of it. That's it.
Okay.
We're going to take a baking sheet here, if you want to hold that for me.
Got it.
And we're just going to transfer the pie crust onto the baking sheet. Again, it doesn't have to look pretty.
She uses the rolling pin, by the way,
relatively even. So we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of sugar on top.
Okay.
And you can use cinnamon sugar or granulated sugar, depending if you want a little extra cinnamon in there, because there will also be cinnamon in the filling. And again, if you were to use a store-bought crust, this is a part where you're kind of doctoring it up a little bit. And you're going to take away some of that flavor. Now we're just going to take this and we're going to put it in a 350-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes until it's golden brown, a little bit bubbly, and cooked through. While that's baking, we're going to make the filling.
That sounds great. I can't wait. We'll be right back with the apple filling. Stay tuned.
Viva Bene, Italian ristorante has the finest food and the best service. In Italy, we say chi mangia bene, vive bene. Who eats well, lives well. Viva Bene is perfect for a night out or just to relax in our new lounge. We also do dinner and theatre packages, just across from the DCU Centre, close to the Footage Theatre and Mechanics Hall. So if you wanted to eat the best Italian food, come over to Viva Bene at 144 Commercial Street, downtown Worcester.
At Hometown Bank, we know we're part of a bigger community where good customer service is our trademark, so we make it our priority to do our very best for you. We always greet you with a smile and handle your banking needs promptly. It's all about making your life easier, so you have time to pass that smile along. Hometown Bank, it's the way banking should be.
Hometown Bank, the way banking should be.
With all the liquor stores and all the different beers they sell, where can you find a Pilsner from Turkey?
I found it at Yankee Spirits. My country makes good beer. Not just off.
Welcome back. Our crust is in the oven, and Alina's going to chop up some apples. She's almost through so that we can get right into our pie filling. Alina, so how's it going here?
Well, what we're
Pretty
doing
nicely.
is I have some apples in the bowl. Again, the great thing about this recipe is you don't really have to measure. You want a small apple, maybe about an apple per person, maybe a little bit less. Hey, if you have extra filling, throw it in your ice cream the next day or something.
Naturally.
So you want to slice the apples fairly thin. They're just going to cook quicker. And we're just going to add them to the bowl. And Dom, if you can sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon sugar on top of those as I throw this last little bit in the bowl.
No trouble.
They don't have to all be exactly the same or perfect. This recipe is really forgiving. That's it in the bowl. All right, so while you're finishing that up, I'm going to add a little bit of butter to my pan.
This is the great part.
And this pan's already heating up, so I'm going to get the butter melted. I don't need it screaming hot. I just need the butter to be kind of started to melt. And that's just so my apples don't stick. And of course, butter makes everything better, a little bit of good flavor. And that's unsalted butter. I always prefer unsalted butter. It's actually, unsalted butter is usually fresher than salted butter.
Right, but butter does make everything better.
It does.
It's a good slogan for the American Heart Association,
I'll
right?
get rid of this. I was going to give it to you, but you don't really want that.
No.
So we're going to cook these down in the pan. You're just going to stir them every once in a while. I have them on medium heat. You just want to stir them every once in a while to make sure they're not sticking to the bottom of the pan and burning. And you're going to cook them through, which should take about 10 minutes. Again, depends on the variety of apple. My favorite apples to use, Empire or Granny Smith. Something with a little bit of tartness to it. I don't like Max. They turn into applesauce.
Yeah, they
so
do.
Granny Smith or Empire, Cortland, something like that is great. I have some that we've cooked down, and you're going to cook them, like I said, 10 minutes until they look like apple pie filling that's already done, ready to eat, because we are done at this point.
Nice and
Just gotta put
soft
it
and
together in
mushy.
a glass.
Okay.
Exactly. Not mushy. I don't like that word.
Okay, nice and soft
and tender. How about that?
Tender, yeah. Okay,
If
chef.
you can just grab that glass
Got
for
it.
me. I'm going to grab the pie crust, which we've already taken out of the oven, and it's cooled.
Okay.
And this is the fun part.
Ooh.
I'm actually going to let you do something.
All right.
So you break off, I'm going to break off a piece, and I want you to take, we're going to leave that for garnishing.
Okay.
Break up a little bit here,
Got it.
all right? And just put a little in the bottom of that glass for me.
Got it.
So go ahead and throw a little bit in the glass for me. Maybe a little bit more. And you don't have to place it nicely, just random.
Just
If you
random?
like more
Okay.
crust, add more. If you like less, that's good.
Okay.
Add less. So then I'm going to put some apples right on top.
This is very...
Maybe one more little scoop. And now, if you were doing this in the wine glass or a big, tall highball glass or shot glass, go ahead and throw a little bit more on. You could do multiple layers, but we're just going to stick with one for now. And that's it, just a little there, because now what we're going to do is take one nice big piece. Hope that didn't work so well. We're going to take one
That's right,
nice
it doesn't
big
work well at
piece,
home either sometimes, right?
and you're just going to stick it right into your apples. And then, to gild the lily, take a little bit of fresh whipped cream. You could use vanilla ice cream if you wanted to at home, and just put a little bit of
A
cream
dollop.
on there.
Right?
Sprinkle a little bit more cinnamon sugar, and there you go.
That's exquisite.
Doesn't look like apple pie, but it tastes like apple pie.
Now, I have a question. How do I transport this to, my
Very
brother's house?
carefully.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll have to find out where to buy the cases
You can bring
for
all
that.
the ingredients separate. It takes 2 seconds to put it together. You bring them separate, put it in the glass when you get there.
And I understand there's another possible garnish, which is called mixed nuts crocante, which is a terrific thing that we're going to get into right after this break. So stay with us. That looks great. Absolutely fantastic.
Discover the difference at Dodge Park Day Club. The Day Club offers your loved one loving care and supervision while you are at work or running errands. The Day Club is open 7 days a week, so you can have some free time for yourself.
The Day Club provides the members with nourishing hot meals and snacks. To nourish the soul, the Day Club provides activities, entertainment, and social events. Members enjoy arts and crafts, painting, memory games, and social get-togethers.
For a limited time, when you sign up for 5 days a week, you get 2 days for free. Discover the difference at Dodge Park Day Club.
Hi, Henry Camarsi here from Camarsi Masonry Supply, your home for hardscapes. With retail stores in Worcester and Charlton, we display everything from pizza oven and granite benches to natural stone and drivable grass. Our hours are 7 to 4, Monday through Friday, and check us out on the web at camarsi.com, where you'll find coupons for our newest products that will help save you money on your next home project.
Welcome back, foodies. We just finished our apple in a glass, apple pie in a glass more specifically, and as Alina told you, we're going to prepare a little separate garnish for it. But did you know that this garnish can also be used on your cocktail tables as a gift to people in little bags with pretty bows? It can be used for a multitude of things, and they're candied nuts, right, Alina?
Absolutely. And this is kind of a shortcut. If you may have looked at recipes before for candied nuts, and they involve boiling sugar and making a syrup, and it's this long involved candy making process. This is the simplest thing you're ever going to do during the holidays. 5 minutes tops, other than your baking time. Couple of ingredients, makes a great gift. Again, makes a great garnish for any fruit dessert, ice cream. Put it just in a bowl on your coffee table, addictive.
Sure.
You can also really customize this recipe, which we'll kind of talk about as we go along. So in this bowl, I have raw almonds. You can use almonds, you can use walnuts, you can use mixed nuts, whatever you like, even salted nuts if you prefer. So if you want to mix, I'm going to let you get your hands dirty this time. I'm going to add to this egg white, and this is pasteurized. The egg whites you buy already separated in the supermarket. They come in a carton. And again, a recipe you don't need to, get in there. It's a recipe you don't need to measure. You're just going to add egg whites until the nuts are coated. I think we need a little more because you need something for the sugar to stick to, and it makes the crunchy coating on the outside.
They're not all wet. There's some dry ones in there. As I understand that some people are a little bit intimidated by pastry because it's one of those things that they have to measure so absolutely and perfectly, right?
Yep. But
a little more?
These recipes here, I think actually that's it. Those are good.
Okay.
So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to turn them out onto the pan.
Okay.
And we're just going to sprinkle. I mean, make sure that your sheet is lined with parchment, or you're using a non-stick sheet that is sprayed with spray or something, because they will get kind of sticky.
That looks terrific.
Cook. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take cinnamon sugar.
Okay.
Here's where you have a little bit of leeway. I could add nutmeg to this sugar. I could add some cayenne pepper to this sugar. I could add a little rosemary. You can customize it. Add some salt too, sweet and salty. So now mix them up.
And you just want to cover it very well, correct?
Keep toss all the way, like you're tossing a salad or something. Yep, you're trying to get them totally coated in this cinnamon sugar.
And again, foodies, you just go to foodiestv.net for all of the recipe information.
Although there isn't much of a recipe.
True.
That's it. Okay, so if you want to spread them out for me evenly, they're pretty well coated. Now, okay, that's good. A little closer together.
Got it.
Now we're just going to sprinkle the whole top one more time because you want to make sure there's enough sugar. You could use plain sugar too if you were using some kind of herbs or something like that. You didn't want the cinnamon. There we go.
Look at that, look at that.
Look at me ruining the display. Okay, we're going to take this 350 degrees oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, and you're just going to bake those until the sugar is going to bubble. They're going to get a little bit toasted, golden brown, crunchy. Take them out of the oven, and that is all there is to this recipe.
Let me just stop for a minute. Foodies, wish you were here, because this just smells terrific over here, doesn't it?
It does, and they taste even better than they smell. So these are walnuts that we finished. They come out of the oven. You can see it's this dry, kind of crunchy coating on them. Go ahead, taste one. They're addictive.
Oh,
so you can take them and you can, you can add them to your apple pie in a glass. You can put them in a bag. You can get these bags in the craft store that have a bow already in the bag, drawstring bow, or you can get your own ribbon and put it on in a little jar, in a dish on your table. Perfect gift, perfect party idea.
Stocking
5
stuffer,
minutes, there you go.
I love it, I love it. That's a real easy thing to do. Folks, we'll be right back because we're not done yet. It's panna cotta time. Stay with us.
To culinary enthusiasts everywhere, there is one icon that rises above all others. One that's been empowering them for more than 70 years. One who continues to establish a new standard of Epicurean achievement. At Thermador, we create products that aren't for everybody. Only for those who insist on true cooking performance. Thermador, an American icon.
Hudson Appliance, one of the largest appliance showrooms in New England, brings you vast selections of brand name appliances at low warehouse pricing. The knowledgeable and friendly sales staff will help you find a perfect replacement appliance or guide you through the most difficult kitchen renovations. Come check out the great selection of Energy Star products. Not only will you save money on your utility bills, but you'll save on dishwashers starting at $1.99 and front-load washers starting at $3.99. Hudson Appliance for saving, selection, and all your appliance needs. Hey, welcome back, foodies. As we told you, we're back to do something called panna cotta, which in Italian means cooked cream, right, Alina?
It does.
We're going to use panna cotta, but we're going to top it with a chocolate gelée made from V1 vodka and chocolate. We're going to use terrific V1 vodka from Poland today. And so how do we get started on this?
So we're going to start with, well, typically we're kind of combining the Italian and the French here, because typically panna cotta is an Italian dessert, gelée is a French dessert.
Right.
They're both kind of fancy words for Jell-O, so it's really not that hard to make, but it's a super elegant, delicious holiday dessert. So we're going to start with our panna cotta. So the first thing we have to do, for both recipes, is we need to bloom our gelatin. This is unflavored granulated gelatin that you find in any supermarket. To that, we're going to add 2 ounces of cold water, and you just want to make sure that it's all covered in there.
Right.
And that's going to sit just for a couple of minutes until the gelatin blooms. So the gelatin is absorbing the water.
Correct.
While that's happening, in this pot here, I have 2 cups of heavy cream and about 6 ounces of granulated sugar.
And again, everything is on foodiestv.net.
So we're going to heat this just until it's shy of a boil, warm enough that when we add our gelatin to it, it's going to dissolve inside there. All right, and you want to make sure that you stir it every once in a while.
You don't want it to stick to the bottom of the pan.
We do not want to stick to the bottom of the pan. We're also going to add a little bit of salt, a quarter teaspoon. Salt is really important in pastry and desserts and baking because salt brightens everything up. It brings out, it makes sweet food sweeter.
Right.
If it's missing, it's kind of flat. Things taste flat without it. So that salt's really important.
That's interesting.
I'm going to add a little bit of really good vanilla. If you're using vanilla, don't use the cheap stuff. Use really good Madagascar vanilla, Tahitian vanilla.
Tahitian or Madagascar? Sure.
And this is about a half a teaspoon.
Okay.
Add that in there. You could add a different flavoring if you wanted to. This recipe's pretty friendly. So that's it. We're about at the point that it's heated up. We're going to take this to our bench, and I'm going to add the gelatin now. So to add the gelatin, I need to add a little bit of the hot liquid to it. Just make sure it's soft enough that it's all going to slide right into this pan for me.
Okay, so you mix up a little bit.
I'm just going to mix that in, and it's all going to go right back into our heavy cream. There we go. So you want to stir that for me for a second? So that's our heavy cream and sugar. Go slow. All right, good. And now I'm going to ask you to add that milk there. So we have about 12 ounces of whole milk.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and add that right in. Don't have to be careful. Just dump it all in.
Got it.
And stir it a little bit. While you're doing that, I'm going to grab our glass. So we're going to take, this is kind of like a martini, but as a dessert because we're using the vodka to top it. So I like to serve this in a martini glass. That's it. You're done.
That's it. Panna cotta.
So we have the glass here, and we're going to carefully get this into the glass. If it spills up the sides higher than where you go, it is going to leave a mark and just make your final presentation a little less than perfect. So you want to do that kind of carefully. And that looks like enough. So this is going to make enough for 6 to 8, depending on the glass you use. So Dominic, if you could take this and put it in the refrigerator, this needs to set in the refrigerator for about 2 hours.
About 2 hours.
We have some in there that have been setting for us. We're going to take one of those out and move on to our next step, which is to make the gelée that's going to float on top. To do the gelée, we're going to start exactly the same way again. We're going to go back to this same bowl. We need to bloom our gelatin. This is unflavored granulated gelatin. To that, we're going to add 2 ounces of cold water, and you just want to make sure that it's all covered in there.
Right.
And that's going to sit just for a couple of minutes until the gelatin blooms. So the gelatin is absorbing the water. And we have here some simple syrup heating up. Simple syrup is equal parts of sugar and water.
Okay.
This is going to heat just like the cream till it's warm enough to dissolve our gelatin. So now we're going to take the warm simple syrup. Same process. We're really doing the same process.
Same thing twice.
Yep.
That's
so
going
then,
in.
again, you're going to take your gelatin that's been bloomed, add a little bit of your warm liquid, stir it around to make sure that it's all in there. I'm going to dump it. You want to keep stirring? Go ahead.
Got it.
And then comes the best part, our V1 chocolate vodka. So we're going to take this chocolate vodka that we've made. If you want to grab that, so I'm not reaching all over the place here. And Dom's just going to pour all of it straight in. Go ahead, right away. There we go. We're just going to mix that, make sure it's mixed well.
What I love about this is Paul Kozub from V1 Vodka, he's the founder. He's going to come by and just show us how to make a chocolate
How
martini
to infuse the chocolate.
after the next break. So it's really interesting to see
And
how this comes to
if you don't want to
pass.
infuse the chocolate, you can cheat and use a little bit less vodka and add some chocolate syrup to that, and I will include that on the recipe on the website.
Great.
So as you can tell, we're just pouring the vodka gelée over the top of the panna cotta, and you see it makes beautiful, it's layered, so it's this really cool looking dessert. Dom's going to put that back in the fridge. It's going to set for about another 2 hours. And when it's done, you have this beautiful suspended martini. You can garnish it a number of ways. Enjoy it with a chocolate martini, and it's a really nice holiday dessert.
Hey, Lena, I noticed you're using mint.
It's funny that you should notice that. One of my pet peeves with garnishing is when people use something on the plate that is not in the dish. But I know coming up that you're going to be doing something with chocolate and mint.
That's right. True culinarians always use what's in the dish. And Paul Kozub from V1 Vodka, the founder of V1 Vodka, is going to be joining us to show us how to make a chocolate martini. And he uses mint infused in that drink. Stay with us. We'll be right back. That looks terrific.
Viva Bene, Italian ristorante has the finest food and the best service. In Italy, we say chi mangia bene, vive bene. Who eats well, lives well. Viva Bene is perfect for a night out or just to relax in our new lounge. We also do dinner and theater packages, just across from the DCU Center, close to the Foothills Theater and Mechanics Hall. So if you wanted to eat the best Italian food, come over to Viva Bene at 144 Commercial Street, downtown Worcester.
Memory impairment? Recovering from stroke or heart attack? Recovering from surgery? Short or long-term respite care?
I have to go to work. Who's going to take care of Mom?
Dodge Park Rest Home provides a unique, safe, and healthy environment for your loved one. Whether it's nursing care or personal attention, Dodge Park Rest Home provides peace of mind. Come and discover the difference at Dodge Park Rest Home. Call us for a free lunch and tour. Visit us online at dodgepark.com.
With all the liquor stores and all the different champagnes they sell, where can you find a good sparkling wine from New England?
I found it at Yankee Spirits. We Patriots, we like our bubbly. Happy New Year!
Hey foodies, welcome back. We're with Paul Kozub. He is the founder of V1 Vodka. Paul is a local guy. He's actually from Hadley, Massachusetts, and he created V1 Vodka. And Paul, I wanted to say thank you very much for being on our show today.
Thanks for having me.
Along with Alina, and we want to ask you a couple things about V1 Vodka. How in the world did you get started with such a terrific vodka?
Well, I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. My father started his own manufacturing business, and I grew up with that. And my grandfather used to make moonshine during Prohibition. So I got to keep that quiet because that's highly illegal. There's actually 3 things in the United States government that have no statute of limitations: murder, counterfeiting, and moonshining. So they're highly illegal.
I never knew that.
There's actually 4. My hair is the 4th one. Anyway, so what happened from there?
So a few months after I graduated from college, my father unfortunately passed away. And it really inspired me to kind of do my own thing, start my own business. I ended up going into banking. I spent 5 years working in banking, and after about 4.5, I was tired of that. So I kept looking for something else to do.
Follow the passion.
So every day going home from my job at the bank, I'd stop and visit my Polish grandfather, and he would tell me these stories about growing up and during Prohibition, about how he used to make vodka. And it just, when he ended up passing away in 2003, he left me a few $1,000s, and that was kind of like the light bulb moment that went off. I said, I'm going to start a business to honor my dad and make vodka to honor my grandfather.
That's great. That's a legacy in and of itself. And let me ask you a little bit about V1. What is it about V1 that would make your father and your grandfather so proud?
Well, you know, it really is something that is a local business. We started this, like I said, in my basement, and fooling around with different recipes. Vodka can be made from anything. Most people think all vodkas are made from potatoes, but in fact, about 97% are grain vodkas. So I started making vodka from sugar and then different grains and potatoes. And at the same time, I got a contact in Poland, and I ended up traveling to Poland and touring some of the best distilleries over there.
Wow.
And quickly found out that I was about $5 million short of this $5 million equipment I needed to build my own distillery. So I brought my recipe over there and worked with them on making V1 how it is today, which is made from 100% organic spelt wheat.
Organic spelt wheat, and this is called farro in Italian, is that right?
It is. It's an amazing grain. I bake with it. It's one of the original ancient grains. And how did you decide to use spelt as your
Well, it was a very difficult decision because, as you know, that spelt is one of the most expensive grains. It's about 4 to 5 times more expensive than any other wheat. But it really had that mellow taste. And what you're looking for with a good vodka is something that doesn't have burn to it. And so spelt was really mellow.
Hence the world's most drinkable vodka. And it actually won the double gold medal in San Francisco, is that right?
Yep, we're number 1 in the world for 2010.
Awesome, awesome. You're going to treat us to a terrific drink here. And I know Alina dressed that and garnished that with mint for a reason. That's because you use mint and chocolate in your chocolate martini.
People ask me all the time, do I have a flavor? And I'm still working on that. But in the meantime, I kind of developed this with the company Bodum to have this infuser where you make your own flavors at home. And it's really simple.
Wow.
It has this chamber here that has some holes in it. And this has been infusing for the average infusion is about 4 days. You just literally break up some chocolate, put it in there. I put about 20 or 30 mint leaves in here also, and you can go on my website, v1vodka.com, to get that recipe.
Right.
And so after you infuse that, I mean, a lot of vodkas are made with artificial flavors, and this being with real chocolate, it just comes out excellent. So,
well, you wouldn't want to ruin a beautiful vodka with artificial flavor.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Right.
We're going to pour this out and have a terrific drink just to close out what was a great holiday episode. Folks at home, the foodies have learned how to make pie in a glass. They've learned how to make candied nuts. They've learned how to make panna cotta with a chocolate
Vodka.
with a chocolate
V1.
gelée, right? And of course, we're going to have Paul's famous chocolate vodka martini. Thank you very much. How do you say it in Polish?
Nastrovia.
Nastrovia. Happy holidays, everybody. Join us next time on Foodies.